got this camera at 25 and was like, I'm gonna make some money with this. And I did. And I quit my job in less than a year. And I've been just running full force with all the things.
Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Success by Design with yours truly, Michael. I am here with the amazing Michelle Harris. Michelle is an awesome photographer and even better person, an educator, and just like uplifts other people. She was Rainfinders of the Year in 2022. And I was like, what? Like, this girl is out here just slaying everything. So I'm excited to have her here with me to talk about all things about her business, her education, her mentorship, and you guys are really in for a treat. So welcome, Michelle. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining me. Go ahead and share with everyone, like, just about yourself and who you are, and let's listen. Let's get into it.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. I have been a wedding photographer since 2015. And my story is just a little bit different than most photographers, where they're like, oh, well, I've had a camera in my hand since I was a teenager, and finally I made a business. Like, I got this camera at 25 and was like, I'm gonna make some money with this. And I did. And I quit my job in less than a year, and I've been just running full force with all the things. And then when I first started, I couldn't find anyone who looked like me and fully educated wedding photographers in all the aspects. And so as soon as I felt like I was a couple steps ahead of, quite a few photographers that I could help them out, I started educating. So those are the things that I've been doing on top of my associate team and workshops and all of the things. And now I'm a Sigma ambassador as of 2020. So I'm all over the world for them.
Oh, that is amazing. You said two things that I really want to plug at. One, you, like, after your first year, you were like, I'm good. Like, I'm in this. I'm quitting my job. Like, what does that look like? Because a lot of people are afraid to make that leap after the first year. So walk us through that, like, that mental state that, like, okay, you picked up your camera and after your first year, you were out here running the streets.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I got my camera in January 2015. And at first I was like, oh, I'm going to be a newborn photographer because I'm not having no more kids. And this will be how I can love on them. And I hated it. Hated it so much about all the things. I sold all the things. And then finally I did my my brother's wedding in his backyard. And I was like, this is it. And just took off. Because back then I was using Thumbtack. And Thumbtack in 2015 was like, I don't know, $7 or $8 or something to send a quote. Now it's like 25 or something like that. So I haven't recommended that in a long time. But back then I was killing it because, like, I was writing like all these extra like personal messages to everyone that I was sending a quote to. When most people were just sending like the basic stuff. And so people were more intrigued, and I was booking all of these weddings. It was like $1,100-$1,200 and things like that. But on top of my salary as an insurance agent at the time, I was banking, okay? And then by October of that same year, I looked up and I was like, okay, so I make $40,000 here at my insurance job, and I've already made 50. So in photography. So I'm like, well, if I just quit, how much more could I have made? And now I do not recommend quitting your job in October, ever. But I made it through. I should have waited until like at least like the springtime started again for my first year, but it's fine. But how it looked to everyone like I was insane. But people who like knew me, they were like, you're not going to quit. You're not going to give up. So like, I'm not that worried about it. It was only the people who were like, oh, they have government jobs and they feel so secure. They're like, why would you leave that job of security and just leap out? And I'm like, because I am. And it really took, at the time, I was actually married, and it was a terrible, terrible, terrible marriage. But he was just like, this is dumb. You quit. And this is like the stupidest decision you'll ever make. You'll always regret this and all this stuff. And I was like, all right, well, watch me. And so not only did I do that, but like 3 months later, I got like an office of sorts, because he had come home one day and was like, hey, I need you to do this and the third. And I was like, yo, I'm working. Like, I have stuff to do. He's like, you you're not at work. You're not doing nothing. I was like, oh, all right. And I went out and I got me an office. So I'm like, I'm at work now. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
that. So I actually am maybe a little too motivated by people telling me that I can't do something. It forces me to be like, oh, okay, watch this. So it can be a toxic trait sometimes.
I love it. And you know what? In your story, like you have this marquee of hustle like right behind you, and I know your slogan is like hustle made, self paid. Like I see where it comes from now. Like it's like written all over in your biography about like your upbringing in this industry, and you just went after it. The other piece that you talked about was not seeing people that look like you. Like how did that feel? And what did you do like in your transition to now educate people that look like you and inspire people that look like you?
So, I mean, it was frustrating to not be able to find anyone, because I almost wondered if there were anyone that looked like me that was doing it at all for a while. And I talk a lot about when I joined Tuesdays Together, like the Rising Tide Society. It really helped and changed my whole trajectory of my business, because that was January 2016 when I started. And finally, I'm like, oh my God, like there's all these creatives that are right here in my city. I didn't even know they existed at all. And there was only one other Black female photographer, but it still was enough. That's all I needed. I was like, okay, I'm not completely alone here.
Yeah.
Not that I was going to stop anyway, but it just helped. it just helped motivate me to do that. And so once I got to the point where I'm like, okay, I realized that posing was like my thing. Like it just is so easy. It just made my whole client interactions better and all the different things. So I was like, I can do this. So I put on this free posing workshop, like right down the street. And then like 6 girls showed up, and it just made my whole year at the time. And then I just kept going from there.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So you talked about a whole lot of accomplishments and struggles, and I want to dive into like the photography part of what was like your most challenging obstacle or struggle that you had to overcome, and what did that look like, and how did you come out on top?
I feel like the most challenging part at first was connecting with vendors. And I think it's because, first of all, back then, Instagram was like just starting to be a thing. And so it was all reliant on like your Facebook page and like your website. And so like, I mean, I did the best I could, but like I literally then felt like I needed to go outside and physically meet people. So I'm jealous of the photographers I get to mentor now, because I'm like, no, just send them a DM. Like it's nothing. It didn't quite work that way. And so, but once I did, it changed everything. So that is why, like I have mentorships called Book Bride Bootcamp. And when I have my students come into that, like one of the main things we do after we clean up like the insides of everything, like the workflows, and shine up the outside and fix the website. First thing is to go and really network with vendors, because I feel like the focus on that has just gone to the wayside, because Instagram is such a big thing, TikTok is such a big thing, all the things. And I'm not saying that those things don't matter, because obviously Instagram is still my thing, but vendor relationships at the end of the day are some of the most important relationships that you can ever have, because everyone's always like, oh, you know, if everything crashes, you have your email. And it's like, well, what is the internet not here? That's probably never going to happen. However, it's more important to me that I can pick up the phone and call a couple wedding planners and be like, hey, I'm in need of, you know, some florals for my bride, or this or that, or whatever is happening, than any connection online. It's just really, really important to me.
I'm so glad that you stress that with your mentees, because you probably see it like when they come in, because I see in the industry now a lot of newer photographers. When I say newer, I want to say like 3 to 5 years old. You know, they are so gung-ho on social media and social media marketing. And I'm like, dude, leave your house. Like, get up and go and shake a hand and meet somebody and talk to them. And that will go so much further than sending a Facebook post or a DM to be like, hey, I want to work with you. I was like, leave your damn house. So
Exactly.
you also talked about, systems, which are mentees. You help them through their systems and your workflows. And we all know you can't be a great business owner without having systems. Right. So let's talk about how you've incorporated systems in your business, and particularly how does Fundy fit in there?
That is a great question. So for my business, the first system that I came across that really changed all the things was HoneyBook, because I was able to do all of these things that I was grabbing from 7 different systems to send invoices and contracts and all this other stuff. So HoneyBook is my jam, and I've loved it forever. So I tried to get my mentees to go there unless they're already set up somewhere else. But Fundy is all the way can be somewhere in the middle, depending on if my couples get a guest book for their wedding, because I love to design their guest book with their engagement session photos, just leave space for them to have their guests sign. I feel like it's more memorable than a literal book with just words in it. And you're more likely to look at it more often. So I tried to push those, and I designed those with Fundy. And then I also, all of my wedding collections have a wedding album in it as well. So my whole process after the wedding is to send them the gallery and have them pick out their favorite 80 photos. I then pre-design their album, and then I meet with them on Zoom. And I know that, Fundy has a lot of awesome systems and things where I could just send it to them through their tools and all those things. But my type of client experience is more quality time, because that's one of my love languages, and it's just how I do my business. So yes, I could do them more electronically, but I like to get on Zoom because it's the final part of what we're doing. So I would rather get on Zoom, be like, hey, how was your honeymoon? How's marriage been? All these different things. And then go through the design and move things around super easily, because Fundy's incredibly easy to design things, change a photo, whatever it is. I can do that right on the spot with them. And then I get through the end and just order it and send it right to them.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's amazing. I would love to hear about either your first sale or your most memorable sale, as to this is what hooked me on Fundy. After this point, I was like, listen, everyone needs to use this program. What was that moment for you?
So for me, it was the first guest book that I ever did, because I was like, oh, I'd really like to offer albums. And so I just went and I got Fundy, and I was like, okay, well, I don't have anyone that had an album, and I wasn't confident enough to reach out to my previous couples yet and say, hey, I have this thing. But I actually offered to design a engagement session book for a guest book for a client that I had coming up. And they were like, sure, let's do this. And when I put it together, and I was like, okay, this is what it's going to look like. And this is all the space that they're going to have to sign at your wedding. They'll be able to see your engagement photos if they didn't see them online. They were ecstatic. And so not only that, when I got to the wedding and was shooting the wedding, all the guests were like, you took their engagement photos too? As they're flipping through. And I'm like, yeah, I did that as well. And they're like, oh my God, I love it. So when you add a guest book, plus doing a same-day slideshow, these guests are blown away. And I feel like the combination of the vendor relationships that I've made and my same-day slideshow guest book combo is what has kept me constantly moving out here.
Oh, that's amazing. And that's a lovely feeling when people are like, oh my God, you did this too? It's like snap a finger. Yeah, you can have one too, right?
Exactly. You're seeing my work right here in print, which we all know is a whole different vibe than seeing it online. There's nothing like opening your album. And so they're opening this guest book oh my God, this is gorgeous. Come to the reception and see a slideshow of what I did today. Already, minds are blown.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it sells itself, right? So using a software like Fundy allows you to get more sales at an actual wedding, because you have this slideshow, you have this guest book, and literally just tools at your fingertips that, other photographers are like, how do you do all these things? I'm like, systems. You get a good system and you will be absolutely great. So speaking of that, do you have a favorite feature in Fundy that it's just like if they took this away, your life would be completely changed. You're like, I need this in my life. This runs my business.
So the one thing is it's so small. It's so small. But when I'm designing a wedding album, I personally don't like to mix together color and black and white photos on a spread. Other people do it, and sometimes it looks okay, but I personally don't like it. So I love the fact that I can put photos in there and press the little black and white button, and it makes the whole spread beautifully black and white, and it all is cohesive. And I don't have to go to Lightroom, make it black and white, put it back in, see if it works. Like I don't have to do any of that. It's perfect, and it's so small, but it saves me so much time.
It's, you know what, and once you said it was small, I was like, where's she going with this, right? But it's huge. Like it's like the fact that you said it saves you so much time. It's like the smallest little details are the largest time savers.
Yeah,
you know, because like you were talking about, like having to take that back out into Lightroom or into Photoshop and change that, and the beauty of how Fundy is incorporating like editing in there, like, you know, soft editing, that one button, black and white, and you're just like, I'm sold. All right, on to next spread.
It can be that simple. And then, I mean, there's 3 different options for the different levels of the black and white. You can adjust the contrast within the black and white. I'm like, it changed my life. Because I was working really hard doing those. Like, okay, you want this in black and white? Okay, fine. Let me put it over here, put it back. And like, ugh. And once press that little button, whew, changed everything.
I love it. I love it. Talking about like the advancements of Fundy. Fundy just came out with a whole new like just app, right? Called Social Design App. And I know you had a chance to look at it. Like how has this app, or how will this app change the way that you do your social media?
So for me, I looked at the app and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be fantastic. But I'm looking for someone else to do my social media. And my thought process is the moment I hire someone for that, I'll be like, here, take this. It's going to make things easier. And it's taking a little bit longer than I expected. So I might have to just do it myself soon. but I'm really excited for how it's going to affect my business once I really get into it.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I think because I have a social media person and I give them access to my login, I'm like, okay, just go ahead and create these templates and then like just post them up. Like I can't wait to see what you do with it, because when we talk about all the things you talk about Funny, is like, oh, these little things have saved so much time. You know, you will see that, you know, even with like the app, is going to save so much time that you're not having to figure all of this out yourself. It's like pre-made already there. I'm going to stalk you and just wait to see, you know, what that blow up looks like. That's going to be amazing.
Excited. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to do it myself and do it soon. So
yeah. No, I love it. I love it. So I want to transition into more, you know, just a little more about you. I would love for you to share any valuable lessons that you've learned from any of your mentors or people that influence you throughout the industry. Maybe like 1 or 2 lessons that you've taken with you since you started to get you to where you are now.
Okay, well, the biggest one for me is that people think that whether your business takes off or doesn't is like so reliant on whether you posted today or if you did a style shoot or whatever, like all these like frivolous things, when in reality, not solely on this, but like majority of how successful your business is in your mind. Because I can mentor you all day long and tell you, hey, go do this, meet with these people, let's set this up, and, you know, walk you through all the things. But if you then get off the call and you're like, oh, I don't know why she told me to do mini sessions. No one ever signs up for my mini session. And they not with that attitude. Like, you have to have a positive attitude when it comes to everything that you are doing in your business, or you're going to stay right where you're at. No matter how much knowledge you accumulate. And some people accumulate so much to the point where they get overwhelmed with conflicting information. Because if you can ask me and I'll tell you, okay, vendor relationships are most important. And if you ask another educator, they'll be like, oh, don't worry about that. Get your SEO together. So like, and not that any of those things are wrong, but we all kind of focus on a different, you know, on a different subject. And then if you can get overwhelmed with consuming so much and then have a negative mindset, it can't work. There's no way for it to work. It's going to go downhill.
And that mindset is everything. Like, especially with your platform about hustling and hustle made self-paid. Like, you can't have the type of success that you've had without that hustle mindset. You know?
Like, it's just not possible. And I think that hustle is right now, getting a bad rep. Everyone's like, well, don't hustle. You should flow with life and all these other things. And then there's the reality of like, there's always a season of hustle, and then there's a season of rest. And that could even be within a day. You need to hustle in the morning, and then when your kids come home, rest in the evening. And that's something I'm still struggling with. But my 9-year-old is going to make sure that I get used to it, because she gets home and she's like, you said you were done at 4. It's 4:02. And she does not play games. So there's always hustle, and then there's rest. So people just have got to find the middle ground and be positive as they hustle.
And I like how you parse that out, because you're right. A lot of people are just like, oh, you know, like hustle hard or just keep on going, and burnout. Like, burnout is a thing. And I love how you're like, yes, I'm going to hustle when I'm in the office, and I'm going to rest when I'm at home, and making sure you're intentional about that. And that goes back to mindset. I want to make sure I'm intentional about running a business and being a woman, being, you know, a partner, being a mother, like having that intention. And I can see it, like, it comes out.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not easy. And everyone's always like, how do you do all this? And I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Every day I'm just doing a little bit of everything. And that's all I can tell you. I'm doing the best that I can. There are weeks that I have to travel, and everyone's like, oh my God, it looks so fabulous. Meanwhile, I'm calling home, and my daughter's like, what day do you get back? Oh my God, it's been forever. And so I'm like trying to balance these things. But then I messed around, got a really good nanny. And then now they're like, oh, mom's gone? That's right. When she come back? You know what I mean? But it works, because now they're like super excited when I go away. Not because they're not going to miss me, but because they have someone at home that likes to play video games with them and things. Like, that's not your mom. So.
I love it. So I want to wrap up with this question before we get into our a rapid fire, you know? So what advice do you have for any aspiring wedding photographers or portrait photographers? You gave out a lot of information today, you know, from systems to mindset to relationships. So what is that one thing that you want people who are listening to you to walk away with that you know will really plant that seed to change and impact their business?
I think that there are a lot of people that will teach you, okay, you have to niche down in order to be successful. And I do believe that in some parts, but in others I don't. So I think that when new photographers are out here and they're trying to figure things out, one, you should try all of the photography, all of it. Try to shoot everything. Then figure out what lights you up the most, and then pick that one and focus on it for 6 months. I'm not saying for the rest of your career, that's all you can do, but like 6 months of straight focus on that, because at that point, say it is weddings, you can dive in and make sure you have a investment guide. Make sure you have you're a new couple guide. A bridal guide, whatever you want to do there. Like, make sure you have all of these systems, everything that you need completely set out, feeling good about it, and it working like a well-oiled machine. Then add on something else. Yeah. So, because people feel like, oh, well, if I pick this is it. This is all I can do for the rest of my life. And I want to do 7 things. Now, you can't do 7 things well and make a lot of money off the gate. Yeah. The people who are doing everything right now and still doing well have been in this industry for a minute. So over time.
Or they have a team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And people forget that. And they just look at the shiny and they're like, yeah, but he's going here and flying here and shooting this. And it's like, yeah, but I promise he hasn't been doing that from the gate. At some point, he focused on one, even if it was for a couple of months, and then went to another. So that's like my number one recommendation.
I love it. And I love how you just lifted the veil over like these people weren't born into this industry like with all the success that they have now. You know, they started somewhere and then they grew, and as they grew, they've developed a team, they developed qualities. And as when I coach other people, I have to remind them, like when we're talking about SEO, for example, I'm like, or blogging, I'm like, their companies have teams that do this work. Like as entrepreneurs, as solopreneurs, we're trying to figure this out ourselves. And we have to remind ourselves that like, hey, all the companies that we patronize and buy from, they have complete departments
exactly
that do this work. So like take it with a grain of salt, give yourself grace. Like you said, one day at a time, hustle in the office, sleep at home. Don't burn yourself out, because if you don't have like multi-billion dollars to have a team to do all this for you,
right,
you do have to pick and choose. I love it. I love it. Now this is my favorite part of the segment, because then we could dive into like, okay, who is Michelle Harris? So these are going to be rapid fire questions. First thing that comes to your mind. All right. Are you ready? So some of them are going to be photography related. Some are going to be worldly related. All right. So the first one, what is your mantra during a challenging shoot?
A challenging shoot. It's just got to be, I got this.
Ooh,
Because you
love it.
have to tell yourself that you got it. Not like, oh, I think I remember. Like, nope, I got it. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna work this out. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna do this. Like, I know. You have to tell yourself that you know. Because if you tell yourself you don't know, it'll all go downhill, and you really will not know.
I love it. What is your favorite self reward?
Self reward. I want to say a long bath at night. My kids are asleep with wine.
You can tell your mom.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. That's exactly what I saw, man. I should have said like on a beach with a cocktail. Nope, I'm like in my bathroom.
I love it.
Pub though, so there's that.
All right. Least favorite part about running a business?
Least favorite emails.
Oh, dreaded emails.
I don't like emails. That's it. Just if someone could just do the emails, I can do almost anything else with a smile on my face. But going through and I hate it.
Gotcha. Most memorable vacation?
Memorable vacation. Oh, I went to Mexico with two of my friends for their wedding anniversary. It was a big group of us that went, and it was fantastic to be. It was the first time I've ever been in Mexico and not had to shoot anything. No, not in general, but just not had to shoot a wedding. So I was like, what is this life of 3 days of all inclusive, and I don't have to be on my feet for 10 hours one of these days? What is happening? It was awesome.
Awesome. One thing in your career that you're most proud of?
I would think that it's my education community, because they go really hard for me. And I love like we meet a couple different times a week. I have different things like Tuesday mornings we do accountability, and Thursday nights we come together and literally just do hustler happy hour and just sit on Zoom and drink and talk about whatever. And I think that me being able to create a community where they are looking up to a Black woman that I couldn't find 8 years ago, it makes me feel more successful than any of the other accolades or any compliments that I've that I've made.
I love it. I have a few more. What's for dinner for tonight?
You know what? Chipotle. I decided today, look, I don't cook. So, but even if I was going to cook something, it'd be like, hey, I'm pop this in the oven. I don't cook. But I've decided that Chipotle is what we ordering tonight.
Got you. Last question. What is one piece of equipment that you regret buying?
The Canon 5D Mark IV. I regret buying that because I loved my Mark IIIs and I shot with both of them forever and there was nothing wrong with them, but I was like, oh, obviously I need the newer one, and then got it and hated it. It doesn't matter now because I'm in Canon R6s and I have two of those. I'm absolutely obsessed. But during that time, I was like, why did I spend this money?
I love it. I love it. Well, Michelle, you've been amazing. I want to give you the last few minutes just to pitch and talk about you, your platforms, where people can find you, how people can work with you, like whatever you want to share, the floor is yours.
Sure. Okay. So the place that I spend the most time is on Instagram, which is mharris and then _studios. And I am currently enrolling students in my Book by Bootcamp mentorship. It's 6 months, and I don't have any page or anything you can find like on my website for that. If you want to be mentored, just send me a DM on Instagram, because I go through and I ask you questions to make sure that you are in the right headspace and in the right time in your career to make sure that you're ready for my boot camp. Because it's called a boot camp because it's not light and fluffy. I'm going to give it to you real. I need to make sure you can handle it, all those things. Other than that, I also have workshops that I put on in different cities around the U.S. Called Master the City. So if you're wanting to become a destination wedding photographer and you don't have destination images, or if you just want to visit one of the cities I'm going to, like Chicago, New York, and Las Vegas, and things like that, then you're going to look out for those workshops, because you will leave them with a ridiculous amount of information on top of shoots where we do engagement with one couple, and that same couple we do weddings. So you'll leave with looking like you've shot an engagement session and a wedding in 2 days. So those are my number one things that you can always find me and I can help you with.
Awesome. Perfect. Michelle, you've been absolutely amazing. I know that the listeners are going to like just get so much information from just your journey to your mindset, to your workflows, and to just like how people can level up just based off the nuggets. Like, people need to listen to this multiple times to like really let that sink in. Thank you very much for giving up your time. And I like I said, I can't wait to hang out with you in person again at another conference at the Master the City. So if you guys are listening to this, please go follow Michelle. She is one of those people that is just always all over the place. Go on her socials. She responds to her DMs. I promise you. if you get in there, she will respond. So with that being said, thank you again for joining us for another episode of Success by Design, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.